Hello, this is Terry Scott, the ABC consultant. A for advocacy, B for branding, and C for cash flow. Today we're going to talk about branding, the three key points for effective branding with promotional items are, and we talked about two of them already, define your brand identity and then your target market. Number two, focus on high quality and useful products. Now, today, we're going to talk about ensuring consistent and visually appealing branding. Incorporate your company logo, colors, and messaging consistently across all promotional items. Now, again, what we're talking about there is on your mugs, on your shirts, on your key fobs, on your calendars, anything that you have an imprint on, make sure it's consistent. If you have a three-color logo, now when I've designed logos for companies and it's a color logo, I will also provide a black and white logo, or it'll be a kind of a gray and white depending on what the intensity of those particular colors are. And just a secret, if you're designing logos, now if you have dark red and dark black or whatever, and you turn that into a photocopy, basically, if you photocopy that, it's just going to be one big black blob. So consider this when you're creating logos, okay? But anyway, if it's color logo on one thing, you really should probably have colored logo on everything. So if you have a single colored logo, it's all black or it's all red or whatever, it's going to be cheaper. But then again, if you have a three-color logo, it's gotten a lot with our technology. You can just about, well, on big pens, for instance, you can do a three-color logo or even a full-color logo, like a photograph, at no extra cost. So that's pretty cool. Look out for those kind of things when you're purchasing those items. But just make sure that your company logo is the same, that your colors are the same, and also your messaging. Like, for instance, that we might be able to vary on a little bit depending on the definition of messaging. Like, for instance, sometimes I use a pen, and what are we doing with that pen? We want them to know everything about our business. Well, you can't fit that message on a pen. So with a pen, what I like to do sometimes is not even have the company name on it. If your company name is part of your website name, which it really should be, like allsolutionsknown.com. Well, I could put that on a pen. My company is All Solutions Known. I could put that on my company, allsolutionsknown.com, and that's all I need on a pen. If people are interested, they will go. Or I could say allsolutionsknown.com, advocacy, branding, cash flow. Now that's just a little bit more so that they're thinking, oh, now I'm interested in either branding or advocacy or cash flow. So again, not much on there. But messaging, I'm thinking, well, definitely on a shirt, you might just have the logo if it's well known. But maybe just the logo and the company name. Again, you're still being consistent, but there's some little bit of a variation that you can do with your messaging. But do it consistently across all promotional items. So ensure that they align with your overall brand identity and then create a cohesive brand experience. Now, having said that, we're talking about branding and promotional items, but we also, and pardon me by the way when I coughed, but we also want to have consistently across all of our social media. And so again, with our LinkedIn and our Facebook and everything else, we need it, and our photos, and I'm guilty of that. So it's hard to keep up with when you've got so many different social platforms, but it is important. Have the same photo. It could be different poses, maybe a different shirt or something. If you can, keep it the same, but at least have it not your high school picture, okay, or something. Have it current, and each one of your platforms be current with that. All right, well, moving along. With the promotional items, keep your design simple, clear, and easily recognizable. Think about all of the great logos out there like Well, I probably shouldn't even say who they are, but you know who they are, and just take a look at how simple they are. And go ahead and, well, again, when you're working with somebody who's creating your logo, or if you're having me at All Solutions Know create logos, then have us make sure that we're doing something recognizable. I've created logos for companies and corporations that have lasted 25 years. So when I create a logo, it's not just something out of a box. It's not something clip art. I spend a lot of time talking to the business owner and key people in the business, the industry, and all of that sort of thing, and compose that all into one design. And there's a lot to it. It's not just getting a piece of clip art, slapping your name on it. And anyway, so I've done that. And for me to create a logo, then obviously with all that work, you're not going to have me do a logo and have it done in 1 week. It'll take approximately 3 months to a year to have it done, and it'll cost a minimum of $2,500 to $30,000, depending on the size of your company and that sort of thing. So if that's an interest of you, go ahead and click the link. You'll be able to contact me. Maybe I'll have time to be able to do that for you. But again, keeping your design simple, clear, and easily recognizable. Use contrasting colors and strategic placement for maximum impact. Now, to be able to talk to somebody who is not an artist or a graphic designer and to say use contrasting colors, you might be asking, what is that? So I would say if you have questions about anything that I'm explaining here, if you're a professional graphic designer and you have questions, I'd certainly be glad to help you. And then the other thing is, if you're a business owner and you're having a logo created, or you're a marketing director and you're having things put on a promotional item, go ahead and ask me. You don't have to use our services. Now, I was going to save this for later, but my company, Branding More, you'll always get at least 10% off catalog and online pricing, and also 15% off exact repeat orders, and then free shipping on your very first order. So if you have us do that, your promotional products, we're going to be able to help you with all of that so that you can have a strategic placement where it needs to be on that shirt or where it needs to be on that key fob. You know, those kind of things are a little simple maybe, but even when you're creating a logo, is it going to be a diagonal logo, rectangular, circular, and all of that sort of thing? It makes a difference because you need to have in mind, when I'm creating a logo, I'm thinking, well, where are you going to typically be placing this logo? So it needs to be able to look good. All right, anyway, and to be able to fill up that maximum imprint area. Now, consistent branding across all various touch points, including your promotional items, helps people to easily recognize your brand and become familiar with that. And that's what we want to do. We want to foster that loyalty and reinforce your brand identity. So already I've mentioned what we can help you with Branding More. You can click the link below. By the way, subscribe if you like what I'm sharing here. And then the other thing is, I guess there's a bell someplace that you can smash so that you're going to get updates when we have new information for you, new uploaded videos. And most of the time I'm going to talk to you about advocacy, then I'll talk to you about branding, then I'll talk to you about cash flow. Because without advocacy, doing something in your business that's greater and bigger than your business, bigger than yourself, you're not going to be able to get much cash flow or maintain it. And then the other thing is, if you don't brand, you're not going to have cash flow because nobody's going to know about you. And if they do know about you, it's not going to be good. So I'm going to help you to do things well. Again, this is Terry Scott, the ABC consultant, saying, do something great for somebody outside of your company. And then do something great for your employees and your business. And then when that happens, great things will happen for you. Make it a great day.